Good morning, everybody. This is Hearing Homework. My name is Charlie. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm standing up. I don't know if you guys noticed or have even thought about how I actually film these videos. Matter of fact, I don't know how many people actually watch these videos, but most of the time I either do it sitting down on my floor or sitting down on just any type of chair. I've done a couple episodes outside. I have a little like picnic table out there that I did like my Talking Heads video on, and I also did my Bob Dylan Bringing It All Back Home video on. But I was sitting at that table, but on this episode I'm standing. I don't really know why. I'm still trying to figure this channel out because I don't know if you guys have seen in the description, but this channel, the purpose of it is mainly to kind of make myself. I want to get better at talking about music because it's very easy to just say something is really good, but it's a bit more difficult to say why it's good and why it impacts you so much. And I find myself recommending music to so many people, and I don't really have the words to describe it. And I also don't want to only use the excuse like you'll just have to listen to it. Like you'll just have to figure out like what you think when you listen to it. I want to be able to like give him like a sneak peek of like what to expect. What does it sound like? Like how can you put what something sounds like into words? And that's kind of what this channel is mainly about. I want to train myself to do that. Most of the time, I'm really good at talking about just albums, but when it comes to songs on the albums, I'm a bit not as good at like remembering things. Because I usually just think of the album as a whole as just a work of art with however many songs on it. Just I the album is the one song to me, and it's hard to kind of remember and reminisce on specific parts of it. But anyways, that's my spiel. If you guys even cared about why this channel exists, it's for that reason. Today, I talked about Big Star last episode. I feel like this album kind of relates a little bit, maybe in sound and sheer ferocity. Today, I'll be talking about Over the Edge by WIPERS. This was 1983. If you guys don't know WIPERS, it's more of a project than a band. The band has switched members a ton, but Greg Sage is the front man. He basically is WIPERS. He's a brilliant songwriter, a brilliant guitar player and performer. And this is WIPERS' third album. I have here, I guess I should get it out just to show off. Before I listened to Over the Edge, I listened to their second album, Youth of America, and I fell in love. The first time I listened to No Fair off of this, it was mind blowing. The guitar work really caught my ear. The structures of the songs were very experimental, given the ethos of punk music, and I don't know, it just really caught my ear. And it just sounds so good. Like it sounds badass. It sounds awesome. And Youth of America was the first one that I listened to. And the title track on this is amazing too. But I'll get to this later. Today we're talking about Over the Edge. It would probably make more sense for me to talk about Youth of America before Over the Edge, but one, I just got this copy maybe a week ago, and I have kind of a newfound appreciation for it. I've always loved Over the Edge. I listened to WIPER's first three albums in chronological order, so this is the last one I listened to, and I haven't listened to any other WIPER's albums besides their first three. I have checked out Greg Sage's second solo album. I forgot what it is, but it's kind of like an alt country punk record, and it's really amazing. Sacrifice for Love. Sacrifice for Love. Amazing. That's a really great solo album by any frontman of any punk band. Really underrated. It's not on any streaming service, so it's kind of hard to check out, but you can probably find a rip of it if you use SoulSeek, or you will find one on YouTube. Just listen to it on YouTube probably. But Over the Edge, 1983. At this point of WIPERS, I don't know the other two members' names, nor does it have credits really. Maybe it does on the sleeves, but like I said, I just got this copy not too long ago, so I'm still kind of learning about just the sleeve design. But this album cover is so sick. It's a zoomed in photo of these two electric guitar pickups. Got the band name right here. This weird geometrical design over the edge. I for a long time I kept saying close to the edge, but I figured that's the Yes album that everybody loves. But this is over the edge. Now my version, I don't know if you can tell, it's a 2022 kind of it's a new pressing 2022, but it is also kind of I got it secondhand, so it didn't have a sticker indicating if it's like a anniversary or something. It might have been 40th anniversary 2023 because this came out in 1983. But it's translucent. Here, I'll show off this photo of Greg Sage with the band is so sick, so cool. Greg Sage, he is probably one of the worst balding men that I've ever seen. Look, you can kind of see my room in the reflection. That's pretty cool. I love Greg Sage's attitude. I think he has one of the most punk attitudes of any frontman of any punk band. He really is like the antithesis of punk. Their first album is It Real? I think it's called. It was very thoroughly produced, sounds so clean. But then Youth of America and Over the Edge are so dirty. They're murky. I don't know how they were recorded. Definitely not on like a 24 track or anything. Or it sounds like a live album basically. And that is part of just the sound of Wipers to me. Like that's such an important aspect of their playing and how the work just came out. Like it's just part of the song, you know. But I think this edition is like some anniversary edition because it comes with the original disc. Here, I'll show off the photos. This is Greg Sage. He's balding really bad. By the way, they're from Oregon, I think. Shoot, I think they're from Oregon. Yeah, I think there's a city in Oregon that I can't think of. Oregon? They're from Oregon, though. They are. Washington? No. I don't know. I forgot what city they're from. Portland, Oregon. That's where they're from. But this is where this is Portland, Oregon. There is an ant on my freaking dresser. What the hell do I do? Oh my god, he's fast as fuck. Oh my god. Here, I'm gonna pause this real quick. Okay, I'm back. I had to kill an ant real quick. Anyway, this is the photo of the sleeve of Greg Sage kind of mixing. I don't know what he's doing because it doesn't sound mixed very well. But he's just fucking with a bunch of studio equipment, tapes, and stuff like that. It comes with 2 discs. Now, the original album is just 1 disc, thank the Lord. But look at the color of it. Like I said, I don't have a lot of colored albums in my collection, but this one is really cool. It's like a pink. It looks red on the camera, but I promise it's a hot pink with bits of like, I don't know, flames or saturation right there. You see it? It's really cool. It's a beautiful pressing. This is the original album. But then there's a extra disc that 8-track. That's what it was recorded on, an 8-track. It's a disc of demos, I think, rough mixes, I believe, live cuts, outtakes, alternative mixes, and a demo as well. But I honestly haven't listened to this yet because I've just been spinning the original album. And I'm kind of waiting to check this out because I don't know how it's gonna sound. I'm gonna check it out soon though. But here's another photo of Greg Sage with I guess 8-track. If you listen to the songs, the instruments are really rough sounding, but Greg Sage's vocals are pretty clear. So maybe he redubbed the vocals or something. But yeah, super cool. There's writing at the top. LP used an eight track tape machine, which is step back from the 16-track recordings of the first two LPs. So this sounds even rougher than Youth of America, which now that I think about it, that's true. It added a raw edge, worked well with the rebellious, socially political themes that the LP has. Um, and some of these songs go back to 1981. Um, Romeo received decent airplay in the USA and was what brought our earlier LPs into view years later. Romeo was recorded with a 4-piece horn section, but the horns were mixed back behind the guitar to fit into the sonics of the rest of the LP. Wow. Oh my god, there was horns on Romeo? That is kind of crazy. I have to listen to that. But yeah, we're not going to talk about this a lot though, because I haven't listened to it, and it's not the album. The album is this. One thing that really sticks out to me about WIPERS sound is how melodically conscious they are. A lot of punk music bleeds into, I guess, metal, but just complete abrasiveness. And there is a melodic edge with almost all of WIPERS songs, and I think that is thanks to Greg Sage's songwriting and just his taste of progression, chord progressions. He really likes to experiment with just guitar melody. And the guitar playing, I'm a guitar player myself, so I can really appreciate some really great guitar playing. And it is all over this album, not just performances, but just the sound and just the melody, the main riffs, the licks. They're all so unique. And there is a very, kind of like the cover, there's a very shimmery tone about the really aggressive guitar parts that Greg Sage has. It's very distorted. It almost reminds me of shoegaze, just of how it kind of soars through the mix. It's very shiny, but it's not polished at all. It's more of like a storm. It's like sounds like a lightning kind of. There's like the guitar on Romeo sounds like fucking vacuum. It totally sounds like something that could be off of Loveless. And this kind of looks like it has kind of the same idea as the Loveless album cover, just the close-up of a guitar with the kind of pink and purple color coordination. But I didn't even think of that. I didn't even put those two together. But yeah, Romeo, the first guitar part sounds like a fucking vacuum. Side one starts with Over the Edge. That was a really popular song when it came out, I think. I love the main guitar part. It's not the truth I see, it's just a mockery. Greg Sage, his vocals are like, if you think of punk vocals, that is Greg Sage's singing. But he also, similar to Youth of America, he goes into sort of spoken word parts too. He kind of switches back and forth. His spoken word bits are honestly really hard to hear what he's saying. I wish it kind of came with the lyric sheet so I knew, because the lyrics are very political, just as punk is. And it's really like, stick it to the man. Fuck you, we're not going to do what you tell us. We're going to do, if you want us to go right, we're going to go left. And I don't want to talk about Youth of America a lot, because I'm totally going to do an episode on that. But on Over the Edge, the songs there's more songs, and they are much shorter than on Youth of America. Over the Edge is great. Doomtown was one of my favorite highlights off the album, because I love the main the melody, the I would play it on, I think I can play it on guitar. I don't know, I don't think it's tuned very well. Doomtown, alright, Doomtown, living the Doomtown, living the Doom. That's it. It's my that acoustic guitar is not tuned. I haven't tuned this in a while, but I loved. It was one of the first guitar melodies that really stuck out to me on this album. I love Doomtown. So Young is also really great, and Romeo is just a fucking abrasive um, black hole of a song. It's really great. And the refrain of Rome, Rome, Romeo, Romeo, Rome, so cool. Also, the not to glaze Greg Sage this whole episode, the bassist and the drummer are also really amazing, especially the bassist. I can it's the bass lines that sound like they hurt to play, but not by complexity, but just by stamina. Just doing the. I would love to see them live and play that. What is another amazing melodic song off of side two. No One Wants an Alien. I love that they have kind of the Wipers' first EP was called like Alien Boy or something, and it's very interesting because they do have almost this like outer worldly, outer space or outer worldly just sound. Just when it comes to the tone of the guitar and the structure of the songs, it just sounds like nothing I've ever heard before. Especially the guitar tone. I really can't punch that in any further. But it's just the tone. It's just it swirls. It sounds like wind in space or something. No One Wants an Alien is a really great song. The Lonely One is it's like a sad. It is a sad song. The main melody, the do 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 boom do 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 the Lonely One, the Only One. It's one of my favorite songs off this album for sure. No Generation Gap is a really great song too. It's definitely a more intense one. The also just the hooks and the choruses across this whole thing are so amazing. They're so genius. Just Greg Sage just had that ear. He was just able to do that. But yeah, No Generation Gap is really great. I almost said gay. I did say gay. But yeah, this whole LP is just amazing. The first time I listened to it, I really don't remember. Like I said, I listened to all of WIPERS albums in chronological order, so this was the last one I checked out. And I know I fell in love with Doomtown first listen. And I also fell in love with The Lonely One. If you were to check out a couple songs from this, I would say Over the Edge. You should probably check out the title track because it's probably one of the more popular songs on it. Yeah, check out Doomtown. Honestly, just listen to the whole album. It's like 34 minutes, not even that long. And it's just brilliant punk songwriting. Wiper is one of my favorite punk bands ever. I love Greg Sage's attitude. That's what really plays a huge part in what I like is the attitude of the artist themselves. If I agree with their pathos, then I will be on their ass the entire way, listening to their whole discography. If I like their attitude and I agree with their politics, that almost expands on the love for the music for me. Greg Sage is one of those guys. He is a punk. He's a punk. But he's a punk for the people, if you know what I mean. And apparently being for the people is punk in itself, which sucks. That shouldn't be the case, but it is. Yeah, Over the Edge. You guys should totally check this out if you kids love shoegaze. You will have a lot to appreciate off of Over the Edge. And while you're at it, just listen to the first 3 WIPERS records. I'll definitely talk about Youth of America soon because I really love that album. But I have a newfound appreciation for this record that I thought I should, like I did with Radio City by Big Star, trap it, put it in a jar, and get it out to you guys. But yeah, why is this important to music? It's just punk, baby. Just really great punk songwriting. 83, which is, let's see. It was after Joy Division, early 80s. I don't remember when before shoegaze, so it's really a pioneer of a ton if you really think about it. I know I've mentioned shoegaze a ton. That's not you should not that should not be a main point that you take away from this video. Oh, Wipers are pioneers of shoegaze. I feel like I should not have even said that. It is just the punk. Like, this is just brilliant punk songwriting, and Greg Sage is just one of those guys. He's amazing. But yeah, Over the Edge. You guys should totally check this out. And when I listen to the demos and alternative mixes and stuff like that, if there are songs to take home after listening to that, I'll mention it on my episode of Youth of America, which probably won't come out in a long time because I don't want to do albums by the same artist like 2 episodes in a row. I'm trying to kind of spread it out and also kind of have a musical chronological journey, because I don't want to go from like that's why I didn't want to do Something Anything by Todd Rundgren to Tweez by Slint, because that's such a huge jump. I should have not have done that, but I did, and I learned my lesson. Check out those 2 videos if you haven't, especially Todd Rundgren. I love that album. But anyways, I've rambled for long enough. Over the Edge, listen to this in your car or something. It's on streaming services. Come on now. All right. Love y'all.